Hello and welcome back to Obsessive Preparedness. I wanted to share a video that my husband just posted over on his channel, Highwayman Trucking. And this video is awesome for truckers, preparedness, and things that you need to think about carrying in your vehicles, your big rigs, your trucks. And his channel is still growing and he doesn't get the views, and I just thought that I wanted to put this on my channel. So if you already saw it over at Highwayman, I want to apologize, but I wanted to get this information out to all my subscribers on just things that you need to think about, being vigilant and carry, and if you're truckers, things to think about carrying in your big rigs. So I hope you enjoy this video. I just wanted to share it with you all. And if you haven't seen my husband's channel, Highwayman Trucking, I highly suggest going over, subscribing. We're doing a lot of videos. We're out on the road. 2 months with my husband. He had a triple bypass, heart attack, and so I'm out on the road with him, and we're doing a lot of videos over on Highwayman Trucking if you're interested. So I hope you enjoy this video and give it a watch.
Well, welcome back, YouTube. Highwayman Trucking here, my way on the highway. Got me a nice cup of coffee. Sometimes it just hits the spot perfectly. What I talked about earlier was personal awareness and observation regarding our current climate, world today. A couple of things to keep in mind when you're traveling, whether it be in a car across the country, in a semi-truck like I am. I obviously have a little bit more leeway owning the company and my own truck and trailer than a lot of people. But keep in mind, if you fly on an airplane, you can still bring a gun with you. You just have to have a lockbox with 2 locks. You still carry a gun across this country, wherever you're going. So it's not impossible. It's a very easy process. In fact, when I went back home from Kentucky and had my heart attack, my wife was still in Kentucky taking care of her daughter. She had to fly home, and she had a very easy time flying home with her gun. But back to what I believe you should have in the truck and trailer. If you're an over-the-road truck driver, or if you're traveling across the country, if you've got your own personal vehicle, means of transportation. Yes, I do believe in carrying a firearm. Yes, you should carry extra magazines for that firearm. Statistically, if you look at any gunfight that occurs, a lot of rounds are fired. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 to 30 rounds are actually fired in the average gunfight. So if you're carrying a 6-shot revolver, you need a few extra rounds. My wife does carry a little 5-shot concealed. I think in her purse she probably has another 10 extra rounds for that particular revolver. If she's carrying her Glock, she's got a couple of extra magazines for that as well. In a truck like this, it's really easy. Obviously, I carry, probably 4 or 5 magazines for each pistol, and I probably got another box of shells or 2 for each caliber that we carry. It's also a little easier for me to legally carry, a shotgun or a rifle in here versus, Joe Blow that's just traveling across the country. But getting away from the gun thing, let's get into knives. You should always have a good pocket knife. A good folding pocket knife comes in handy in virtually any survival situation, as well as just day-to-day use. I also believe in carrying a good fixed blade knife. I've got in fact, sitting down here next to my seat, I carry got a Marine Corps issue K-bar bayonet that I've had for years. Good fixed blade knife. And yes, you could use that for self-defense, I suppose. I don't have it in there for that purpose. It's just more kind of an emergency tool. You can use it to cut a lot of branches. You can use it to whittle away the things, pry things open, whatnot. Just a good fixed blade knife. I also do have a little hatchet under my lockbox underneath, so if I need to cut trees, whatever, I can do it. Little axe. Good Leatherman tool. I've got 2 or 3 Leathermans in the truck. One of them, let's see, right here. Good little Leatherman tool with the needle nose pliers and everything on it. Obviously, I do carry a toolbox as well, but we're just talking about little preparedness items that you can have, that you can stow. Hopefully, you got a good backpack, little bag, some way to transport these things. We're talking, doomsday type scenario where you got to be on the move, maybe on foot or whatnot. I carry a good water purification bottle. I've got a little bottle. It's an Aquamira brand water filter. You fill it up. It's got a filtered straw, and it purifies the water, so that if I need to go collect water somewhere, I can do so and drink, clean, healthy water. You can survive almost a month without food. You can't go over 3 days without water. You will die. It will kill you. So that's an important thing. I do always carry, I've got about probably 3 to 4 cases of water in my truck at any given time. And I try to not ever let that drop below, certainly never below 2 cases. I preferably like to always keep 3.5 to 4 cases of water. And, that I can cook with, I can eat, we can wash with, we can do whatever we need to do. But that's key. Food. I try to eat a little bit healthier than I did before. But I do have some staples of just some good, cheap canned goods that will keep you alive. My wife's got some of her meals in the jar. We put it in Mylar bags to make it lightweight. Plus, when you eat over the road and you carry those jars, then you got to bring the jars back so you're not throwing them away and wasting them. And so it just makes it a little easier for transport. And we definitely believe in a complement of that. Of course, we think about, basic needs like toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, soap, mouthwash. We try to keep a little more of that. We don't ever run out. Like if I ran out of what's, here today, I've got extra. And that's just how we've always lived our lives. My wife, as you know, on her channel, ObsessiveChicks, has been in the preparedness world and business her entire life. And so those are just principles we live by in general, and they're no different out here in the truck. Because you never know what's going to happen. There could be a wreck and the highway shut down for 10, 15 hours. You could break down on the side of the road in a snowbank or something, and you're stuck there for a day or whatever the case may be. Take that up a notch to where if we were, God forbid, ever to have a massive terrorist attack or nuclear attack, the world's going to change pretty drastically and pretty instantaneously. Groceries are not going to be available, people. Those Walmart shelves are going to be bare. Fuel is not going to be available. I'm a huge believer in never letting your vehicles go down below half a tank. The same thing in my big truck. I've got, I get down to that half a tank mark, I fill it right back up. I know that on a full tank, I could drop my trailer and I could go, easily 1,000 miles. I know you can't do that in your cars, but that's something that I would do if there was ever some kind of major catastrophic situation. I wouldn't give 3 damns about this trailer or whatever load I was hauling. If the Phoenix area were attacked by something like that and I had to get back to my family, I would drop this trailer in a heartbeat and be heading back home. But some of the things that you need to keep in mind while being prepared, it's not just all the defense supplements, gadgets, and little things that come in handy and make life easier. Yes, you need to have some kind of water purification system and be able to purify water, but you need to also think about being mobile. And being mobile, you need to consider the elements that you're going to be in, what you possibly could be in. Footwear is always key. My wife even carries a good pair of leather hiking boots, waterproof hiking boots, with us, and she very rarely will ever have them on, but they're there. And if we were in a situation where we had to walk on foot, we'd both be wearing a decent pair of boots like that. We'd probably have our tennis shoes strung up over our backpacks on the back. You always want to have a change of shoes if you can. But you think about, things you would need in a survival situation, like different types of socks. A good pair of wool socks or moisture-wicking socks. Something that is practical, that you can put some miles on your feet and be able to be comfortable as well. Aside from your everyday stuff, I've got, regular cotton socks that I wear every day for work and here in the truck, but I keep a couple of pairs of different socks, a couple of pairs of thermal underwear, stuff that's just really lightweight that I can compress and make small in here that I don't ever use. And of course, we have lots of different jackets. I carry extra little wool blankets, little tarp, cheap $4 tarp from Walmart can be a great shelter have. And that can, you can wrap up in. It's basically the same type of principle as an emergency blanket. You can buy those little, $4 or $5 emergency blankets as well. We have those. We have 2 of those each as well. But you put yourself in one of those and wrap yourself up in a tarp. It's going to keep you dry, and it's going to keep the heat in and keep you warm and alive. So there's just a wide variety of things. I don't think you need to go, overboard and have a bunch of not practical stuff that you'll never use. But just little bits of things
like that medical kit
that will come in handy. A good first aid kit, and I don't mean the Walgreens brand first aid kit. That's probably not going to help you very much at all. You can build yourself a little first aid kit. You can go online and find the things that are most commonly used. I carry an IFAC, which is a military first aid kit. It's got quick clot for gunshot wounds and things like that, and it's a little extreme for the average person, but I will tell you that a tourniquet is probably one of the most important things that you can carry, and it's probably one of the most widely recognized first aid items in every emergency first responder kit is a tourniquet. And you should have a tourniquet for every single person in your vehicle. And that goes to accidents where you may have lost a limb, gunshots. There's just serious cuts, things where if you don't get the bleeding stopped, you will bleed out and die. In fact, I just watched a video last night. There's a channel called Vigilance Elite. I really like a guy named Sean Ryan. He used to be a Navy SEAL. And then there's another guy from Arizona. Fit Survival or Fieldcraft Survival is his channel. Mike Glover, he's a former Green Beret, and they did some pretty interesting little talks on what they would carry in that type of situation. And keep in mind, when everybody says doomsday, we're not talking about zombie apocalypse, end of world type of stuff. But if you had a major terrorist attack in a major U.S. metropolitan area, like Los Angeles, for example, the chaos that would ensue throughout California would be insane. And we're not just talking about the damage done from the bomb or the nuclear radiation or the biological chemical weaponry that may have been used. We're talking about the mass hysteria, the public panic, the rioting and looting. Unfortunately, in our major metropolitan areas, there is a predominant ghetto thug mentality that is there. And if you think for 1 second that problem would not be as great as whatever issue had happened, you are mistaken. I personally know that going back to Y2K, that the government actually has plans to deal with those issues. During Y2K, a lot of people don't know, but when they were worried about what was going to happen, what wasn't going to happen, they had some pretty serious plans in place to deal with it. And the reason that they would need to deal with it quickly is if you had complete unrest in Los Angeles, what do you think is going to happen with our social media now and how people glorify this crap? It's going to probably pop in Phoenix and Houston and Oklahoma City and New York, wherever, and it would just spiral out of control, and we would have complete anarchy and chaos. Those fears are far greater than the initial attack. And those are the situations that I mean when you talk about like a doomsday scenario. It's not that we would never regain control of it, but it could take some time. When you don't have food and water running, when you don't have electrical running, when you don't have fuel running, it's going to take a lot longer to gain control and calm everybody down and to have those situations. And so that's where you need to be able to be prepared to do whatever you need to do for a couple of weeks. Anyhow, I know I'm rambling, but just a few ideas. Think about it. What you need to be comfortable, what you need to be secure and to have that safety net, it may be different than what I need. What makes me feel comfortable. Maybe there's medicines or medications that you need to have that I don't. You just have got to have some kind of plan, some kind of preparedness to be able to be independent, self-sufficient, and to take care of your loved ones for at least a short period of time. Nobody's telling you to go out and stockpile, 10 years worth of food. But when you're mobile and you're away from home, over-the-road drivers especially, take some time to figure out what you absolutely, positively need. If you're broke down right now and nobody's coming for a couple of days, what do you need? Something to think about, and we need to come up with a new phrase. Be like carry on or something like that. I don't know. Because you should carry if you can carry. That's a fact. But have a great day. God bless America. We'll talk to you soon. If you liked, please subscribe. If you want to be notified of future, ring the bell.